The Chiefs, 23-17 winners over the Cleveland Browns. Alex Smith did his job, it seems. Dexter McCluster, very, very talented. Jamal Charles, also very, very talented. But the big thing is, and we could even read the quotes from KC.com that I pulled up, the Kansas City defense has been saving the offense's asses. The offense has been incredibly inconsistent in big moments of the game. And the defense, the guys like Justin Houston, who came into the game with 8 sacks, Tamba Hali, who came into the game with 8 sacks, Dontari Poe, Eric Berry, those guys are making plays left and right in clutch, I don't like that word, but in clutch, crucial situations of the game. So, I mean, it seems obvious, but is the biggest inconsistent part, and maybe what's holding you back from considering Kansas City a very good team, is it their offense being inconsistent at times?
Their offense is not electrifying in an era of electrifying offenses. In an era when, last year, I was going to say RG.
As Jank would say, jury's still out.
Yeah, but in a year of the Saints and the Broncos and the Colts and even the Chargers now to some extent, but we see teams, the Cowboys when they're on, we see teams just move up and down the field. Obviously, the Packers, I'm leaving out, really impressive. And the Chiefs can't do that, and there's no chance they're about to be able to do that. They are smart in that in an era when if you're one dynamic player on offense as a running back, he'll come out in key situations. Andy Reid has Jamal Charles in there every important situation. Yeah. He's getting those yards close to the goal line. But that's what's keeping people from saying that the Chiefs are an elite team. They're 8-0, though.
Second time in franchise history, they're 8-0.
Second time in franchise history. Their records of their opponents is 17-38.
But now they have some big tests. I think you brought it up earlier this morning. They have some big tests coming up in their schedule, right?
They play Buffalo in Buffalo next week, which is arguably their toughest game. It's fun because
even with Thad Lewis,
they had the Cowboys, but they got the Cowboys at home. It's just winning on the road in the NFL is tricky, and the Bills have proved competent.
Yeah, they're competent.
And Thad Lewis looks competent. The Chiefs will be favored on the road, but that's not an easy game. But they will be road favorites. Then
they have the Denver twice, right?
Yeah, then I think they have a bye week. And then coming up, the Denver is weeks 11 and 13. I don't know whether that is I think they have the Chargers first. So they have the Chargers on the road, Denver on the road, I think Washington at home, and they have the Colts. So, I mean, they have 8 games left, and 5 of those games are particularly tough. They have Oakland left, they have Washington left, and we'll put the schedule up there. But so this could be an 11-5 team. It wouldn't surprise me, and that wouldn't necessarily reflect that they weren't good anymore either. But my hunch is they'll go 12-4.
So here's the quick thing on the Kansas City defense from KansasCity.com.
I got it. I just read it, so I know it.
Okay.
So what's amazing is that 17 times this year they've had a team able to get a touchdown to tie the game or take the lead. And in that time, they've only given up 13 first downs in all those drives, 17 drives, only 13 first downs. 6 times they've forced turnovers. Their defense has been overwhelmingly impressive at important points of the game. And it was yesterday when the Browns had an opportunity at 20-17 to tie the game, although that drive was short-lived because of the Devon Best fumble. And that ball, some of it's luck. Like, they were up 20-17. They punted. Best was catching the ball at his own 45. They were going to be on Kansas City territory where a field goal ties the game. And the Chiefs didn't earn that turnover. He just dropped the ball. He caught it on the run, and which was the tough part.
One of many drops yesterday for Devon Best.
To switch it to his hand, he just dropped it. Yeah. So that's flukish. We got to remember that's luck. A lot of turnovers in the NFL is luck, and the Chiefs have had great turnover luck. Their ratio is always going to be good because they have a quarterback who just doesn't turn the ball over, which mitigates some of the lack of offensive explosiveness. Sure. Yeah. But as everybody was pointing out today, correctly, 8-0 is 8-0.
Yep.
And they're beating NFL teams. It's not like they played Jacksonville 8 times. So they're good.
Who's an NFL team, by the way?
Yeah, but they're horrible. You can't lose to Jacksonville at this point. Jacksonville may not go 0-16. They may pull out a win or two. But right now, they're not competitive with anybody.
Jason Campbell, you proud of him?
I did. I wanted to give Jason Campbell Turk of the Week this week because he throws a nice ball. He's been through a lot. He looked good. He threw for a lot of yards yesterday. He put up some pretty good numbers. He was 22 of 36 for 293 yards, 2 touchdowns. That last throw was among his best on 4th down, 4th and 6, scrambled to his right. You saw Bess make a motion like, I'm coming back to you. Campbell saw it, threw a ball that only Bess could catch, sliding. It was low, but eminently catchable. And Bess dropped it. Game over. I don't know that they would have scored anyway. But,
sure.
Jason Campbell looked good, and he's he's a guy I suspect that now, and he retires at age 36. He'll have spent 14 years in the NFL, mostly as a backup, but. But in the right, last year with the Bears, was it last year with the Bears as a backup?
Yep.
He'd come in and he didn't look capable of winning a game.
Didn't look good.
This year he looks very different. Interesting with Norv Turner, who may have a better handle on how to coach him than anybody else.
It seems like we are living this year with backup quarterbacks every year, but mainly this year, a lot of backup quarterbacks are executing it, Matt Barkley aside, that they're just coming in. They're not turning the ball over in bad situations, and they're playing, as you like to say, competent football. They're playing the sort of games where you go, 18 to 32 for 199 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And for a backup, that's a really good game. We're seeing it with Josh McCown with the Bears, Case Keenum with the Texans, Campbell now with the Browns. That's pretty much all you're asking for.
Alex Smith has shown he got a good defense, and you don't turn the ball over, you can win. And Alex Smith is not, that said, that minimizes him a little bit. He's also very accurate.
Yeah.
He does not stretch the field, but he's very accurate, doesn't turn the ball over, and he can run.